All right. Is anyone there? Let's see. Let's see. Let me know if anyone's there.
Looks like we got one person. Oh, no, here we go. 3, 4.
All right. Looks like people are popping in right now. We're just getting set up still. I just wanted to start, I'm not going to start talking yet, but I just wanted to get it all set up because this is our first time doing a webinar like this. I've done a lot of live chats before, but not on this particular website. So I hope that things are going according to plan here. Okay, good. I'm seeing some comments in there. Awesome. Maluka. Hey, Jurgen. Hello. Quark, nice to see you. All right, everyone can see and hear well. Jared is here. He's supposed to be here too. It's just you can kind of see his arm right now. So excellent, excellent. All right, I see more people are coming in. This is great. I'm just going to give it a minute here to let people shuffle in for a moment because it's just 1 o'clock right now, 1 o'clock here. Hello, everyone. Where's everybody from? If you guys want to say where you're from. This is great. Hello, hello, Suzanne. Hello, John. Hello, Chris. Pittsburgh, all right, very nice. Mexico, Maluka, yes. Oh, Belgium, Arizona, Maine, Alabama, Chicago, Germany, Colorado. Holy cow. Quark, oh my gosh, took a vacation day off work just to participate live. You are amazing. Well, I hope we don't disappoint then. Oh my goodness. Yes, Jurgen, Frankfurt. Provo, Utah, Poland. Awesome. Well, this is great. I think looks like we've got a pretty good group in here right now. I might just get things started. So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming to this live webinar here. I know that this is kind of, it's so tough to pick a time for live chats and webinars and things like that. And I know that this is like really busy around the holidays right now. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. And for those of you who are watching later, hello, sorry you couldn't make it. We'll be, sharing this rebroadcast later as well for anyone who couldn't make it live, but really appreciate those of you who are here live. What we're going to do is spend just a little bit of time talking about musician of all trades at the beginning here, and then go through the pre-sale. We're going to open that up. We're also going to send out an email to everybody at the same time so that everyone has a chance to get it at the huge discount. And then I'll just do a lot of Q&A with you guys. So any questions that you have about the course, anything that, I think we've been sending out a ton of information via email, but if there's any confusion or whatever, please feel free to ask at the end here. So first things first, I want to introduce my husband, Jared. So
hey guys.
He's doing some work over there to get some other stuff for the webinar set up. But Jared, this would not have been possible without Jared. For those of you who don't know, Jared's been working with me full time now since May, and it has been great. I know some people have been asking what it's like working with your husband, or if they ask him what it's like working with your wife all the time. But I have to say it's been really awesome, and this is like a totally collaborative project. I wrote the scripts. It's all my knowledge from having this kind of career, but Jared's done all the filming. He's done so much of the editing, so much of all of the website marketing materials, things like that. So definitely would not have come together in the same way without his contributions as well. So it's definitely a co-produced thing here. So let's just, get right into it. You guys obviously are here because you've been receiving the emails with the training and stuff like that. So I first of all want to just say that everything you've seen from the free videos so far, those are actual course videos. So we didn't necessarily have any sort of plan in mind with the videos that we were showing you guys. We wanted to just pick, you know, a representation from each section because there are going to be 8 sections in total. Right now we have 6 finished. So we have over 120 videos that are finished. That's about 13 hours of video content. And then the remaining 2 sections will be available in January. And right now we're not picking a date, but we're just saying late January, just to give ourselves enough time. We thought that we might be able to get everything out by this release date, like this was a month ago. But then when we got into the editing and everything, like as you guys can see, if you've been watching the free content, there's a lot going on in the videos sometimes. And so we really wanted to make these edits, you know, as best as we possibly could. Everything about the way that the videos were scripted, it's like to try and just deliver the most important information in the shortest time frame. So it's just a really efficient way for you guys to learn from this stuff. So that is why those are lagging behind a little bit, but they will be available soon. I'm going to answer Chris's question right here really quick. He said, will those be available when the course is released, or will they be separate? So yes, all of the stuff that's coming in January, thank you, that is a very good question, will be given to you guys for free. It's not anything that I would charge you guys anything extra for, even with like the huge discount or whatever. That's like a bonus of being here today and being one of the first 100 people, because you will get access right now to the 6 sections that are finished, and then also to the remaining 2 sections, no additional charge whatsoever. So that is, thanks for asking that question, because I want that to be clear. It's not that those will be separate for you guys to purchase if you purchase the full course today or whenever during the pre-sale period. But eventually I might make a few of the sections available for a separate sale, but as of right now, we're only going to offer it as like the full course. So you have to purchase like the whole thing right now. I won't be selling individual sections as of right now. It might be something that we open up in the future, but yes, definitely those will be included for you guys. It'll just be something, we're using a site called Teachable for hosting all of these courses and stuff. It looks really nice. It's a great platform, and like you guys can make comments in there too. I've got a private Facebook group set up for everybody as well, because I want everyone to be able to network and all of that as well. And I'll be active in there too. But yeah, so Olivia says, how much will the course cost? I will definitely get there in a moment. I'm just going to walk you guys through a couple of more things before I open up to all of the Q&A, but I will be telling you in a moment, Olivia. So yeah, so sorry, where were we? The 6 sections. Okay, so we just answered the question that everyone will be getting the additional content. So as far as the content, like I said, you guys have kind of seen it. So there's no like tricks here or anything like that. It's, if you've enjoyed the free videos, like that's what the course looks like. Those aren't separate videos that were made for marketing or anything like that. Those are course videos. And the rest of them, you know, it's just a variety. Some of them have tons of visuals if it calls for it. Like I love the ones in the section about making money with your music, because I go through all these pie charts with all of my income over the years, all my expenses over the years. So you can see like very detailed, like what it's taken for me financially to build a career like this. And then some of them are more like, you know, advice-based videos and things like that. Like I wanted to make this as personal as possible, because I think that's why something like this has value, and a big part of why I wanted to create a course like this, because I've seen other courses out there that teach about the music industry or having this type of a career, but a lot of them aren't teaching from the perspective of actually like people who have lived it. It's, you know, maybe it's good advice and stuff like that, but I think that having that personal experience, like being able to tell you guys like, hey, I did this, I think the wrong way. Here's what I would suggest for you guys, because I have certainly not done everything perfectly in my career. I've learned so much over the years, and that's part of what I think makes this course so valuable, is that I'm teaching you guys from my personal experience. And I'll tell you straight up, you know, like, I think I did a bad job with this. Here's what I would recommend you guys doing, just so you don't make, you know, similar mistakes or anything like that. We also have some stuff in there about Twitch. I have a lot about Twitch. My good friend Laura, she was amazing to helped me put together some of the Twitch stuff, because she did it's like a 6-page interview in there, just such good advice. And then she also looked over all of the material that I was teaching from to make sure that it was very accurate. And then I also have like a little bit of a success story about her, because she's had amazing success on the platform. And so I personally don't have a lot of experience with Twitch, but I think it's an incredible platform and something that I would highly recommend to a lot of musicians out there. And because I didn't have that same personal experience, that's why I wanted to involve someone like Laura, who has had that personal experience, because it's not that I'm trying to teach you guys to necessarily follow in my footsteps. I'm just trying to lay it out lay out everything that I possibly can for you guys that I know of. So not, also from my perspective, but also from all of the other people I know out there who are successful doing this, who have careers that look very different from mine, but it's still something that you guys could achieve as well, if that's something that you're looking for. And I do want to address that too, because I made this course with that in mind. It's, very much modeled to try and teach people to build an independent musician career. But it also, I think there's something there if people are just interested in this on a hobbyist level, or if maybe you're not sure that you want to pursue this type of a career and you want to see what it's all about, like all of that's going to be in there. So there is something for everyone, whether you do want to go full-time with this, or if you want to maybe make like part-time money doing something like this, or if you don't want to make any income, but you're just looking to learn more about this. So it's really, I tried to make it, as all-encompassing as possible, but it is very much designed also to try and take you from start to finish. So besides that, I'm just going to check my notes here and see if there was anything else that I wanted to mention here. I'm just kind of like, I just wanted to, again, like reinforce you guys why I made this course and everything. Really, it's just been the last 10 years that I've been in this stuff. I've been on YouTube for a little over 8 years. But before that, if you guys watch my personal story, kind of, how this all came about. But yeah, it's just, I have a lot of questions from people, and I've had a lot of people I've known over the years who are just incredibly talented musicians, but they are just like clueless when it comes to how to take their talent and turn it into a career. And it's always been like frustrating for me to see. And I've always loved giving people advice and sharing things with people about how they can take that passion and turn it into something profitable. One of our really good friends, actually, I have a little bit about him in the course. He's like a fitness, I don't know, what would you describe Blake as?
He's into like holistic fitness training.
Yeah, so he has
lifestyle.
We used to train with him at the gym. We did like training together, and he, sorry, there's like really loud yard people out there right now. He built his own online business. Like we would have these talks when we would train with him, and he built his own like basically health business online. And it's really been really nice to see like him take that initiative and take some of the advice that I've given him and apply it in that direction. But I've also had some like friends in the music industry too, who I've helped over the years just giving advice. But like I said, I have seen way more people that just don't take the advice, or they just don't know what to do with it. And so that's a huge part of why I wanted to make this course, because I just wanted to make this as straightforward, as comprehensive as possible, because when I first started doing this, there was no like clear path, and it was kind of unproven. But now there's a lot of people who've been very successful with this. There's so many more resources available out there, and there is not necessarily one clear path. There's a lot of paths that could lead to success in this industry. And so that's the whole point of this course. Like that's what I'm trying to teach you in there. And there's no like get rich quick. There's nothing like that in here. It's literally like, this just takes a lot of hard work and patience. And it's something that should be very familiar to musicians in general, because you got to think of me as basically your private lesson teacher. If you've ever taken private lessons, you know that that can be super helpful in your development as an instrumentalist or a vocalist. But unless you take what your teacher is teaching you during your lesson and put that into practice during your own practice sessions, you're not going to get results. And I know that because there were plenty of times where, I would show up to a lesson and then maybe not practice for a week, and I'd come back and I hadn't made any progress because, you know what, I didn't put in the time and the work at home to make any progress. So that's the same thing with this course. Like, you will get results from it if you're putting what I'm teaching you into practice. But there's no like magical formula here where I'm just going to tell you things and then it's just going to magically happen for you. You have to be willing to actually take what I'm telling you and then put it into practice. Because that's the hard part with anything. It's just usually anything in life is just kind of patience, hard work. And, you know, that's the thing though. It's not rocket science. It's also not like it's that unattainable. It's not that difficult to get there. The knowledge is there. I'm telling you guys what you need to do in order to get there. It's just being able to put it into practice. So that's what this course is for. And then one more thing I wanted to mention, there are some other programs out there too that I've seen where they're teaching people how to basically build a team from the beginning. And to me, that's pretty unrealistic because in my experience, I was mostly working alone. Over the years, I've certainly hired people for various projects, but the majority of the stuff that I do is by myself. Now, Jared's working with me full time, but that's just been after like 6 years of doing this as a full-time career by myself, like no label, none of that. Now Jared's working with me full time, but it's only been for the last like 6 months now. And you can do so much of this stuff on your own. That's the thing. You don't need to invest a ton of money to start. You do need to invest some money, but we go through all of that in the gear section with like audio recording and production and things like that. And I give you guys like recommendations at various budgets. So, you know, if you're unable to afford something really expensive to start out with, that's totally fine. I did not start with any sort of expensive gear. You guys can see that from my early YouTube videos. They're about as simple as it gets. But that I'm teaching you guys from, again, my experience, which is basically doing this largely by myself. And I say by myself, like obviously my audience and their support is what's made this possible. And that's a huge part of how I'm teaching this course. It's that connection with the audience more than anything else that is going to determine your success. But in terms of like the business or any of that kind of stuff, that's all I'm trying to say is that it's largely been working alone. And so I want to teach that perspective because I know it's possible. And I know it's not very feasible for most people to start out thinking that they're going to have a team, because most of us do start out like working some unrelated full-time job like I did, or maybe you're like part-time, but you don't have the money to just like hire people right away. Most people don't have that option. So that's why I really wanted to build this course from this perspective too, because I'm like, hey, it might work for other people to have a team from the beginning, but a lot of us don't have that option. And so I want to teach people how to do this themselves, because to me, that's very empowering. Like the more you can do yourself, that's just like how I like to do everything in my business, really. Like, so that's why this is called Musician of All Trades too, because I'm teaching you how to do all of these different components. And it is something that you guys can do yourselves. Like, sure, depending on what you want to try, there are certain things I can't do myself. Like, obviously, I can't film a lot of my own music videos that are those nicer, higher quality ones or whatever. But beyond that, there's so much that you can do yourself that you don't have to be waiting on other people for. You don't have to be, you know, relying on other people for. And to me, that's like very empowering to be able to do things on your own. Or if you just want to invite a family member or a friend once in a while. I've had plenty of like little help here and there, not full-time help, but help. You know, my parents have helped me film videos before. My mom is like really bad with technology. No offense to my mom there, but you can, and that's the kind of stuff that I try to teach you guys in the course too, is how to use your, whatever resources you have available, how to get one of your family members. If you know how to use your camera well, you can get it set up, and then all someone has to do for you is like press the record button, make sure you're in focus. You can put together your own really nice videos that way. That's what I did a ton of as I was increasing my video production skills. My mom did like a ton of that, where she just pressed record for me and we did a bunch of different angles. And that's basically how I've been able to make this kind of career work. So if you guys are interested in that more DIY approach, then this is the program. So that's also, I want to be very upfront about all of that too, because for the program, we do offer a refund policy. I don't want anyone getting in there thinking that like they got something that they didn't want, or that they felt like they were tricked into something. So I want to be as upfront as possible as to what this program is and who is most going to excel from taking this. So let's just get into it then. Are you ready if we do a launch?
Yep. 1 second here.
Jared, always working hard over there.
All right, we can see if we can try our hand at a little screen share.
Oh boy, I don't know if we're advanced enough for that. Jared thinks we should screen share.
Click that one. Maximize the window.
I think probably just, I don't know.
Yeah, no more than don't screen share.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna talk through it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. 3, 2, 1, launch. Will you post the link in chat? Yes. So Jared is on that for the link. So I'm just going to talk to you guys about the price now. Jared made a nice little page, but I honestly don't know how to get it up on Webinar Jam at the moment because we did not have this a moment ago. So I'm not, I think I'm just going to, I appreciate it.
Start talking through it because I'll try it on mine.
Okay, cool. So basically, with the other courses that we've seen out there that teach, there's nothing out there that's like this. I will say that because this is from my unique experience and perspective. But with the other courses that we've seen out there and for how much they charge, we feel like this course is well worth over $3,000 in terms of the value that we're providing from all of the different content and everything that we're going to be adding in January. We have other plans to be adding similar stuff to the course in the future too. So we're obviously not going to charge $3,000 for it though. We were having a really hard time figuring out what we wanted to charge for it because we're trying to be fair, obviously, to the amount of work that's put into it. And also it's one of those things where I've given a lot of free advice to people over the years, and I truly believe, because I've bought a lot of courses myself, if you don't pay something for it, then it's really hard to motivate yourself to participate in it. It's you really have to invest in yourself in order to get the most out of something. So we tried to pick whatever we figured was kind of the lowest price we could offer it for, given everything that's in it. And so the regular price of the course is going to be $797, so basically $800. But obviously for this pre-sale period, we're doing the 50% discount. And like I said, this is the lowest we're ever going to offer for the course. It's going to be $397 today. And obviously for the first 100 people who purchase, so whenever that runs out, $397. So did you publish it?
Should be in
there. All right. Jared said he has published the offer, so you guys can go check it out. Jared is a big launch button. All right, so let me know if you see the offer pop up in the chat. So it's basically going to take you to our Teachable page where you can sign up, and then you have to become a member of Teachable. Just basically create an account there. So that's how you can link up to have access to all of the different videos and all the links and the text and everything else that we're sharing within the course. There's also instructions to join the private Facebook group there too. And we'll be adding to this, like I said, on a very regular basis. Has it popped up?
And I sent out the email.
Oh, okay. Katie said she sees it. Excellent. Okay, excellent. You guys see the offer link. Okay, cool. So yeah, like I said, that's what we're doing for right now, pricing wise. And this is going to be the lowest we're offering it ever. And so we will still offer discounts in the future. $797 is going to be the normal list price for it. Because it's still unfinished, obviously we wanted to give you guys a discount. And then, of course, because whoever's going to be the first 100 people in there, we would really appreciate any feedback people had. And we've gone through all of these so many times, but there might be some issues in certain videos or whatever. We're fairly confident with it. But if you guys see anything in there that you want to tell us, hey, this doesn't look right, or this video might be linking to the wrong thing. Because after uploading that many different videos and stuff, like I said, we went through with fine tooth comb, but there might be a few things here or there that seem off. So just please let us know. But yeah, so that's that's what it's going to be. Now I'm going to go through some of your guys' questions. I'm glad that the offer went through. Did you send out the email?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Katie said, it's great to hear. It's just me and my husband. And since I'm a stay-at-home mom, and money for hiring a team just isn't there. Totally get that. That's where I was early on. Like, this was me starting by myself. And thankfully I was able to live rent-free for a couple of years at my parents' house. So that helped a ton when I was investing early on, and I had my full-time day job for a little while. So I stocked away some money before I went full-time with this. But yeah, it's definitely very affordable to just start out doing this on your own. Madeline said, I made cover music videos as you do and also travel vlogs. Do you think it's a good idea that I have these two passions in the same YouTube channel? That's a great question. We addressed this for sure in the course about how I actually think it's very smart to not only just release music content. There's a lot going on with YouTube's algorithm. They call it the algorithms and things like that. So basically YouTube, no one knows for sure what kinds of content it prioritizes or rewards, in the sense that it's like sharing your content on the suggested sidebars or whatever. But generally releasing more frequently helps on all of these platforms. And if you're doing music videos, at least in my experience, it's a lot harder to do music videos on a regular basis compared to doing a sprinkling of like vlogs, like you mentioned, you doing the travel vlogs or things like that. Also, I think it's just smart because when you're doing music, a lot of the times it's really hard to showcase your personality through a music video, but you can do it a lot easier through a vlog. And a part of, building your audience and engaging them and getting them excited about what you're doing with your music is showing them that personal side. So I think it's really smart. There was a time when I created a second channel too, and I really no longer post on there. People thought that it was better to have them separated, but now with, like I said, the way the algorithms are working and stuff, it seems like the more content you can post on one particular channel, the better. So I would definitely advise keeping it on one channel.
I've been marking the question.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Excellent. I was wondering what those were. So Jurgen said, will you also offer some of the parts for the course individually? In the future, I think, after the initial launch in January, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do in terms of timing for all of that. But the ones that I was thinking we would for sure offer separately would be audio recording and production, video production, building and engaging your audience, and how to make money with your music. So I think those four. There are a couple that are shorter sections that we're only going to offer with the full course. And then that's kind of like a bonus too if you are getting the full course. Katie, you registered. That's awesome. Welcome. And Maluka, thank you. Suzanne said, how long is the Facebook group open, and will it be a self-paced course, or will you provide some guidance through the course within the group? So Suzanne, the Facebook group will stay open for as long as, the course, I plan on keeping this up throughout my lifetime. And so the Facebook group's going to be open as long as Facebook is still going. And it is definitely self-paced. So I recommend that you go through the course like from start to finish. But if there's certain sections that you want to just skip to and stuff, that would be fine too. But I tried to make it as just chronologically, like to make sense chronologically. So that's how it's laid out in Teachable in your account. So I am going to provide some guidance through like the Facebook group. If you guys want to make comments on the videos, I'll be looking through the comments and things like that too. But yeah, like everything is very much self-paced. Like a lot of the stuff, you're going to have to apply over the course of years if you're building this kind of a career, because there's no sort of like overnight success with this kind of thing, at least in my opinion. So yeah, it's definitely something. That's why you'll have lifetime access to the course as well, because it's something that will grow with you at different stages of your career. Bill said, I'm not a musician, but I've enjoyed the knowledge and the free videos. Excellent. No, I totally understand if you're not a musician, and you're not looking to like learn more about those topics or whatever, then yeah, I totally understand. But I'm glad you've been enjoying the free content. Hannah, the pre-sale will be until we launch like the next 2 sections in late January. So we don't have a date just yet, but we will be launching when we launch the full thing. Then it'll no longer be in a pre-sale mode, and so it'll go up to the normal price then.
Yeah, and the pre-sale price for the first 100 people is going to be different than the pre-sale price that we have right after the first 100.
Yes.
It'll still be a discount, but it won't be as much as the first 100 people.
Yes, yes. Quark said, do you also talk about insurance? I've seen too many news reports where a musician's equipment got stolen from a truck or vehicle and it was their life savings. Ouch. No, actually, I don't. And that's the kind of stuff that I would love to hear from you guys. Like when you're going through the course, if you're like, hey, can you make a video about insurance? I would be happy to add a video to the course. Like that's the thing. I don't want this to just be, all right, I released it and now I'm done with it. Like that's not how this is going to be. I want this to be a very dynamic course. I want there to be activity in there. I want to be updating it. And as you'll see with some of the stuff, it's like, it changes so quickly with social media, like the kinds of advice that I'm giving. There's going to be times where I'll have to probably like delete a video and then re-upload a new video for whatever's going on at the time, because I don't want to be offering you guys like really outdated advice or anything like that. So yeah, definitely insurance. I'd be happy to do something on that because I have instrument insurance for sure for the stuff that, all my different violins, especially the ones that I travel with or anything like that. I do address traveling with your instrument. That's not available right now, but it's in the live performance section because there are certain documents, at least within the United States, that for certain instruments, you are like legally allowed to bring those on an airplane or something like that. So you can always travel with those documents to make sure no one gives you a hassle if you're, traveling with your instrument. It's not for every instrument, but that is a very good one. Thank you for asking that. Michael, awesome to have you in the course. Excited to have you there. Chris was able to get it. Oh, excellent. And you're just starting out as a violinist. Oh, great. I'm planning on doing some stuff specifically for violinists next year. So I wanted to mention that for this particular course, like while of course I am a violinist, I'm not teaching it from that perspective necessarily. I tell you guys about my experience as a violinist, but I tell it in such a way that I'm trying to help you apply it, whether you're a vocalist or some sort of other instrumentalist. I didn't want to make it seem like it was only for violinists. Like when I do some of the audio demonstrations, obviously I'm playing my violin, but again, like I always address the fact that you can apply the same principles no matter if you're another instrumentalist or a vocalist. It's certainly not just for violinists or anything like that. Gabrielle, got it, and looking forward to learning. Glad to have you in there. Kaden, yes, great question. Are you still doing the special webinar for the first 20 people? Yes, definitely. I am not scheduling that right now. That is something that I'm assuming we'll probably do in January. And so that I'm going to do 2 special webinar classes for the first 20 people who signed up. And I forget, someone was asking earlier about like guidance and things like that. I'm not offering that for the course. It may be something that I decide to do later on, but I don't want to like offer that as, telling you guys I'm going to be doing those on a regular basis. That's why it's just special for the first 20 people for now. And we'll see how that goes. But that's where I want you guys to just like tell me your personal stories, tell me your personal questions. I want to offer you like very specific advice within those webinars, because that's why I limited it to such a small group, because I want people to be able to get like really, it's like kind of like a consulting session or whatever in a group setting. So I want to be able to do that and offer those kinds of things for you guys. Like I said, I don't think it's certainly not something that I'm offering right now or saying that I'm offering for the overall course. It might be something once in a while that I do for all the members or whatever, but we'll see. But I'm excited to just give that a try. Suzanne said, do you feel it would be valuable for a private teacher rather than someone looking to build performance? So that's a good question. I really don't cover in the course any sort of like tactics for being a private teacher. What we do cover is a lot more than just performance, though. A lot of it is basically anything that's available to you guys online. So sheet music, albums, digital, as well as physical, streaming, all of the different sources of revenue that I've had a hand in, and that I know, like I said, Laura is very active on Twitch. That's one of the things that I also included in there as a great way to make income. Patreon. There's a lot of ways that you can get creative with each of these streams of revenue as well. Like something like Patreon, I feel like, depending on what you're looking to do, if you're looking to be completely offline with the private as a private teacher, then I would say, honestly, I don't know if this would be a good course for you. But if it's online, then definitely, like, everything is mostly from like an online perspective. Like, we definitely cover live performance as well in its own section. That's the one that's going to be coming in January. But most everything else is like everything that's available to you online, because again, that's my personal experience. And I would really recommend that to most people, because having the freedom to like live wherever you want or work wherever you want, being online like that, that's what it gives you. Obviously, if you're a private teacher in person, then that's something that you need to be in a specific geographic location. But I also know a lot of people who are very successful being a private lesson teacher online through like Skype lessons and things like that. So again, it's like, if you're interested in online stuff. Madeline, you bought the course. Excellent. I hope you enjoy going through it today, checking it out. Okay, Katie says, yeah, insurance would be great. Do you mind writing down just a couple of things?
Sorry, what was the
insurance as like a future video or whatever. These would be things that obviously like after the initial launch, because we still have to finish up like the other two sections, but that's the kind of stuff, like, I would love to hear from you guys, like, when you do just like look through. Obviously, if you just look through all the different video titles, you'll see what's available in there. But because no one's gonna be able to like go through the whole course probably in, I mean, depending on if you were binge watching it or not, but there's like a lot of content in there. So I don't expect you guys to like see everything, but right away. But yeah, anything, if you're like, oh, I wish you would have covered that, please let me know, because like I said, I'd love to make more videos to make this more valuable. It's not, again, I didn't make this to just like take people's money and be like, okay, we're done with this here. Like, I want this to be something that really provides value for people. So I'd love to hear any of those other suggestions. Maluka, oh my gosh, thank you for getting it. It's so nice. I'm glad that you will be enjoying it over the holiday break. Ashley said, if I buy it Saturday, would it still be a little bit of a discount? Definitely. I don't know how sales are like right now. I don't know how fast 100 people would purchase it. If, the price will still stay at $397 until 100 people buy it. We have it like set up actually just to automatically cut off once 100 people have purchased it. So, excuse me, sorry. I've had this thing since I did a couple of shows in Europe. What was it, like in November? And like ever since I got back from that, I just like had this throat issue. So I'm sorry if I keep like doing that. It's just been like constant for a month. But yeah, definitely after the 100 people, I'm still going to be offering a discount for the pre-sale period. I don't know that we decided on a discount. It would still probably be, I'm guessing, like $200 off the list price. But it won't be the 50% off, because that's only for the first 100 people. Shin, you said was on the fence, but you presented yourself as a very knowledgeable instructor. So, man, thank you. That's awesome. I'm really glad that and I appreciate you guys putting your faith in me too. Like I said, like, we've put a lot into this. I'm going to include Jared in that too, because it's not just me that's been working on this. Like, all of our time, basically, besides running the regular business with, I did those couple of performances in November, and then obviously keeping up with just like the regular day-to-day and the YouTube stuff, all the social media. Every spare moment has been spent like crafting this course and making it as good as we possibly can. It's something that we're like really, really excited about and really proud of. And part of why we wanted to just release it too, even though it's not like fully complete, is obviously just to get you guys in there and again, getting suggestions about future videos and stuff like that. But also because we're just like, we want this out so bad because we really believe in it. Like we are really excited about what we've made with it. And we want people to start benefiting from it because that's a huge reason why we made it, because we want people to start learning from it. It's been hard just like editing these videos and watching, you know, it's just like a lot of me talking with like all of this information. And I'm like, I want people to be learning from this information. So it's just so nice to have it out there now. Olivia, you registered? All right, awesome. Katie, how do we find out if we're one of the first 20? So it'll keep track of that in our account. And so I'll send out an email to anyone who's in the first 20. So I'll just send out like a separate email to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. I'll try to do that sometime later today for you guys to let you know. But like I said, we won't be scheduling any of the personal like webinar thing until after the holidays, just because I think that would probably be easier for everybody. And I'll try to pick a time too where it would work, because it'll be a live chat like this. So it'll be another one of those things where I would like to hear from you guys ahead of time, because I know not everyone is going to be able to attend the webinar. So it'll be something where I'll try to get some questions from you guys ahead of time so I can address those live as well if you're not able to make it live, but then you'll be able to view it after the fact too. Uh-oh. Julian said, I'm trying to enroll, but PayPal account doesn't seem to go through, and clicking enroll, nothing happens.
I tried it. It is working, so it might be something with their PayPal account.
Okay. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, Jared was just saying he did a test because he saw your question, and it worked for our account, for his PayPal account. So I would say for that, it could be an issue with PayPal, or it could be maybe something to ask, I don't know, do you think Teachable support? Because that's not something.
Yeah, probably.
Because we just integrate the payment gateways into our platform there. Yes, I will try to do some troubleshooting as well. I'm going to look into that for you later. Suzanne said, I'm building my private studio exclusively online. Oh, very cool. Okay. Then, yeah, I mean, I think anything online, like I said, and that's one of those things too. If you got in there and you were like, hey, I'd love to see another video on this topic or that topic, or maybe like trying to utilize like some of the things I'm teaching about, like Patreon, to build some sort of like private studio like that online. There's definitely like a lot of advice I could have for you on that kind of stuff. Jonathan said, I saved up only 200 for it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully in the future. Jazz says you got a Laura interview in there. That's great. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, honestly, if you are at all interested in Twitch, definitely read that interview. Like, it is so jam-packed. I asked her a bunch of questions, and I was like, you know, no pressure to, you know, be super like detailed on it or anything like that, because it was like right before she was going to a big event called TwitchCon. Actually, it's like for Twitch streamers. And she got that back to me like so fast with so much information. Like, I was just blown away. So honestly, like, that thing is so valuable, and I'm so grateful that she was willing to like share that much good information and stuff like that for us. So really appreciate that, definitely. And honestly, like, I do a ton of stuff. There's like a lot of screen capture of Laura. We use her mostly for all of the Twitch stuff. So you guys should definitely check out her streaming and stuff like that, because it's incredible. Like, as I was screen capturing her and stuff, I was like, man, like, Laura is just, she is amazing on that platform. So she's definitely a great one for you guys to look at and like learn a lot from if you're interested in Twitch. Jonathan says, you both look very tired. Yes, we were up till 3:30 last night, just running final tests on everything because we were paranoid and, you know, we wanted to just like triple check everything. But, we need to add, Laura's interview is in there. I put it in there.
Okay.
It needs to be, I think I only added it though, now that you mention it, in the one section.
Oh,
it's the same interview, but I reference it in two sections because the way the course, like if you guys are in there right now and you're seeing it, we talk about obviously like Twitch or YouTube in multiple different sections. So that was the way that I figured, like at first I was like, how are we going to talk about some of these things? Because I don't know, like if I should break them up into different sections or if I should just cover YouTube in its own section. So the way we decided to do it that I think makes the most sense, hopefully, is I broke them into sections. So we talk about it from whatever context of the section we're in. So like if we're in the making money with your music section, then we talk about all of the different ways you can monetize on these different platforms. So I think I didn't add her interview on that one, but I do reference it in the video just in case people didn't see it from the building your audience section, because again, we talk about Twitch from a building your audience perspective in that particular section. So it's the same interview, but it is, it should be in two places, just to make it easier for people, just to make sure that they can see it. Mark, hello, Mark. Thank you for coming. Yes, we are. I will be honest, we are a little bit tired, but we're also very excited because we've been working on this for how many months? Like 7 months?
Yeah.
We've been working on this for a long time, and obviously like it's been 7 months of actively working on this, but for me it's like I've been living this career for the last almost 10 years now, and so for me it's just so exciting as well to like be able to share all of this knowledge and stuff now finally. So tired, yes, but very excited too. Jurgen, yes, thank you. Appreciate it. Anna says, do you go over how much experience you have with an instrument before you can start your career? Yeah, so, you know, I said in general, in my opinion, I think you should be at like a professional level if you're charging money for what you're doing. So I don't think you have to be at a professional level to share content or anything like that. But if you're charging for it, for example, if you want to make an album, but you're, you know, not maybe at a professional level yet, or you don't know how to edit it properly and there's like a lot of mistakes in it, I personally just don't think that that's like a great idea to try and charge money for something that isn't professional. You just kind of think of it as any sort of profession. It's like, you know, like an electrician wouldn't come to your house if they weren't like certified or at a professional level yet and try to charge you money for the work or anything like that. So I kind of think of it in terms of that. But in terms of like building your audience, like that's one of those things where that's kind of like the heart of this course is everything revolves around your ability to build and connect with an audience of people, not just like, again, it's not millions of people. Like I have a bunch of stuff in there about how you don't need a massive following. And it's totally true because I have millions of followers, but I don't have millions or even hundreds of thousands of engaged followers. Or in the course, we talk about it in terms of true fans. There's like a really good article that we reference and that I point you guys to about how you only need a really like small number of people to actually be financially supporting what you're doing in order to make a living doing anything online, but that goes for this type of a career as well. So basically, yeah, like if you're just looking to kind of like start out building an audience and connect with people online, you can totally do that before you're at a professional level. But for me, it's more about like if you're charging for things, like I think you should probably be more at like a professional level for that kind of stuff. Julian said, is there a way to transfer directly money to your account? I can't find a way to make the payment through. I wonder if it's something to do with, you know, Julian, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know where we're at with the numbers, but I know you're like trying to get it. If you can't find a way to get it before like the 100 people are up, we can make sure to get you that discount still, because I know you're obviously trying to get that. So
yes, Julian, if you can send an email to support@musicianofalltrades.com and just reference that it was your name, that it's you, yeah, we'll make sure you get it for the discounted price.
Yeah, and we can, like I said, when we get off here, we can try and look into why that might be happening. I'm sorry you're having so much trouble with it, but we'll definitely make sure that you still get the discount, even if, you know. Okay, Jazz says it still says the lower price. So yeah, it's still going good. All right, excellent. Katie says, I've been wondering about online teaching. It seems really interesting. Okay, that's definitely something that I can look into adding at some point too. Madeline says, how do you promote your videos? Yes, that is, there's like a lot of different stuff in the course about that. Depends on your platform. So if you're doing YouTube or something, there's obviously some different strategies than if you were on Instagram or maybe on a different platform or whatever. But a lot of it has to do with song selection and timeliness, things like that. We go through a lot of things like about choosing cover songs, like balancing doing cover songs with original music, because I know a lot of people like to do original music, myself included, but using cover songs to your advantage, I think is just very smart if you're looking to build an audience. Also, we talk about like building your niche and everything too. Like obviously for me, I'm in a very like nerdy niche just because that's like my personality and that's the kind of music I like the most. Everything we talk about too, it's like being as authentic as you possibly can and choosing something, like choosing a niche, not because you think it's going to be popular, but because it's actually what you're passionate about, because that's what really matters. And again, because you don't need to have like millions of followers or anything like that to make this work. You just need to find those people who are going to be like passionately engaged with what you're doing. And hopefully you're going to be doing it for a long time. I'm trying to help people build like very long, like sustaining, fulfilling careers here. So you should choose, you know, whatever kind of niche is going to be the best fit for you personally. And then, you know, again, there's like all sorts I could go on, but there's all sorts of stuff in there. Is that Bernice? Is that how I would pronounce your name? Sorry, hopefully that was correct. Just this week of work, and next week I'm going to binge watch this. I hope you guys can start relaxing a little during the holidays instead of working. For the other two sections, cuddling dogs is important too. Yes, oh my gosh. Well, when we were up so late last night, our dogs left the office because we were working in this room. And they left by, I don't know, maybe like 11:30 or something like that. And we were laughing because they had like put themselves to bed. And I think they were ticked off because usually like we've been working normally lately until like 9 or 10 at night for a while, but then we'll like go down on the couch and we got Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, which is a new video game, which is really fun. So we would just play maybe like a half hour of that and then go to bed or something. And then maybe watch like one episode of The Office because I love that show. It's like one of our favorites. But we would have cuddle time with the dogs on the couch. And so they would feel like, you know, they got in their cuddle time, but they did not get it last night. So I think they were ticked off at us. But tonight we will be doing that. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nafija asks, do you think this course is too serious for a 17-year-old violinist? No, honestly, like if this kind of a course had been available when I was in high school, I would have really loved seeing it because, again, it's like, at least for me, like this has ended up being like beyond my wildest dreams, like what I get to do for a living, but I didn't know that this existed. And it really didn't when I was in high school because YouTube wasn't even around or anything like that. None of these social media platforms really, but no, I think if you're already, especially like an instrumentalist, this can just show you like what kinds of career opportunities are available to you besides this, just the traditional paths that most, you know, universities and colleges will teach you about. I did a minor in violin performance in college, and there was like a little bit of, it wasn't modern. Like the guy was teaching from a book from the 80s, but I learned a little bit about film music from that course, and that's kind of what sparked my interest. It was like my junior year of college, and then my senior year of college was when I started actually finding more out about this kind of stuff, but I didn't get into it until after I graduated. But really, I mean, if you can start sooner with it and you can just start experimenting with, you know, what paths you might want to try, because again, like I say this throughout the whole course too, like there's always going to be different seasons in your career. Like for a while, I wanted to tour, and I thought that was going to be like basically where I took my career. And then I tried like 3 rounds of it, and it turned out to be, you know, I loved the experience and stuff, but it's just not where I wanted to continue with my career. But I was still able to try it and have that experience and then apply that to other areas of my career too. But it's not any longer like my focus or whatever. So it's like you can change paths like anytime, and it's always good, I think, like the sooner you can start experimenting, the better. Samantha said, I've been on YouTube for a while and recently started on Twitch. Oh, good for you. I wanted to get serious about making music online in 2019. So I feel like this course will help me focus my energy. I love hearing that. Yes, let's get that going. I'm excited for you. Oh, Katie, nice. TwitchCon said you've been streaming on Twitch for about a year, but mostly video games. Very cool. Mark said you should try Twitch. Yeah, I tried it with Laura. So we did a collaborative Christmas album together last year, and she came here, which was great. So we were able to work together in person, and that's the latest music video I just released was the last one that we had from when she was here. And we did, I think, 2 streams or 3 streams together, and it was really cool. But I was actually considering at that time, you know, maybe I should try Twitch or something like that. But it was when I got to see how much work it was from Laura's perspective and talk to her more about it, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh man, I can't add that on top of all of the other projects that I have going on right now, and also trying to keep up with YouTube on a regular basis too. It's something, again, like I said, different seasons in your career. Maybe it's something I'll try someday, but it's such a cool platform. Honestly, like I recommend that more in the course than YouTube for people, even though obviously like for me, YouTube has been great, but I also started at a different time, and it was a lot different when I started on YouTube. And Twitch offers so much better monetization options for its creators than YouTube does. YouTube is so far behind with that kind of stuff. So I think Twitch is really an awesome platform for musicians to try out and see if they want to be performing live. That's like the perfect first step to like be on a live streaming platform like that, as opposed to, you know, like traveling and things like the touring. Honestly, it's a lot more glamorous looking, I think, than it is in reality for most people. So I think Twitch is just like an awesome, like in-between thing for a lot of people. Kaden, all right, see you later. Oh man, let's see. Oh, Jenny says, Steven says, good luck with the project. Very nice. Thanks for relaying that. Jazz says only 5 to 10% may financially engage, it seems, but that can be enough. Yeah, less than 1% of my audience directly financially supports me. And I go through that in the course too. Like for me, I have a larger streaming audience, which is great. Streaming numbers aren't the best, obviously, like in terms of Spotify or Pandora, those kinds of payments. But those people aren't necessarily directly supporting me by listening to the music, if that makes sense. Like they're not pulling out their wallets to pay to stream my music. They're, you know, usually either on Spotify for free or Pandora for free, or if they have a paid subscription, you know, they're listening to a lot of other artists as well. But, you know, like I have some pretty large numbers, and that can be great for certain things. Like if you're trying to get booked for maybe a corporate event or an anime convention, like in my industry, you know, it gives you kind of that credibility or whatever. But in terms of just being able to make a living from doing something like this, you don't need those kinds of numbers. And usually the people who have those kinds of numbers, speaking from experience, it's not like I have a huge percentage of those people all, you know, supporting financially. And that's not to say that people can't support in other ways that are meaningful besides finances. Obviously, just like any sort of positivity, the nice comments that I get, the nice messages that I get, people sharing my content, all of that is very important. But in terms of the finances, yeah, you really only need a small percentage of people to be engaging with your stuff. Mark, yes, Canada. I've never gotten to perform in Canada. I would love to do that sometime because we're in Michigan, so we're close. It would be fun. Oh man. Ha, Bernice, thank you. Very well pronounced for an English speaker, you said. Katie says, how do you like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
That's pretty great. we prioritize getting all the characters first, because you don't want to have that hanging over your head.
No, you got to try them all.
Exactly.
So personally, I like Roy a lot, and Crom. That's kind of like the alter Roy or whatever. And
yeah, I think probably Snake and
oh yeah, you're good
Ike.
at Snake.
Yeah.
Why were we don't usually like fight ever, I would say. We were having a disagreement about something. And I was like, we're going against each other because before we had been playing with each other. And so, I got so ticked off because you won.
Yes.
Barely. It was so cheap. You got some
wins a win.
Yeah, wins and wins. You got some like crazy items in that game. I'm like, what is going on with half of these things? They're so crazy. If it hadn't been for those, Jared. Katie says, I love The Office. Yeah, oh my gosh. That we keep saying that's like literally what's been getting us through it, because we'll look forward to that at night. We're like, yes, our episode of The Office.
Yeah, it's our treat.
It is our treat. It helps a lot. It's so funny. Bill said, you actively seek collaborations with other artists, or they come to you? Just curious, because I found you from a collaboration with Lindsay Sterling. I've never actually worked with Lindsay. So wait, what was it maybe a suggested video off of one of hers? Oh, you were at London Comic-Con. Cool. I'm glad you got to say hi. That's so awesome. Thank you. So in terms of collaborations, honestly, I don't do a whole lot of collaboration. I used to a ton early on, and it was, I would say, a mixture of me reaching out. I can't remember with Laura, because we've known each other since, gosh, I think 2012 maybe, or no, it was 2011. I think, yeah, 2011. And I can't remember who reached out first, but we exchanged messages, and then, we're like, let's collaborate. And then ever since then, we've just clicked very well as like friends as well as musicians together. But a lot of other people too, just kind of like randomly, you see someone, if you like what they're doing, it's, I think not uncommon to just reach out and say, hey, do you want to work together? There's a lot of things to consider, obviously, if you're reaching out to someone for collaborating. And I will say that it's just gotten a lot different on YouTube. It used to be, I don't know, it just felt a little bit more personal when I was first on the platform. A lot of people were collaborating. It just felt more, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's a little different now in some ways, but we have like a pretty long video in the course about collaborating and ways that you can like reach out to people, and ways that I personally, over the years, because a lot of people have reached out to me, there's sometimes where I just obviously like, I don't take the time to even respond because someone's either being like rude the way they're reaching out, or it's just kind of like, obviously they're just trying to use me. Just so we talk about ways to like approach other people if you're interested in collaborating, just some of those tactics, but it works both ways. Yeah, like I said, I think it's been pretty 50-50 for a lot of the people I've worked with. I will say though, beyond collaborations with the YouTube people, like in terms of people who I've found to work with, I've pretty much reached out to most people. Like the web designer that I have, I've been working with him for probably 7 years or something like that. And he has done like all of my album artwork, all these things. And I found him completely randomly just from emailing him. He was offering some free downloads on a website, like way back, like I said, 7 years ago. I can't even remember how I stumbled across him, but I was like, I really like your website. It looks really nice. Do you ever design websites? And that's how, so there's a lot of that in this industry where it's just like reaching out like that, and you never know you know, where it's going to take you. And if you like working with somebody, then, you know, you make it a regular occurrence or whatever. So a lot of the people who I've worked with, I've personally just reached out to like that, just like randomly. Okay, Bernice says, I don't get an option to put the password into the Facebook group. Okay, I was wondering about that, honestly, because I was using that from some other, I've purchased courses in the past, and that's how they did it, but Facebook may have changed that. So all we will do is just like cross-reference with emails then, just to make sure that it's members only. So I would say, obviously we'll be able to like recognize people's emails and names and stuff like that. If you have like a way different email that you use for Facebook maybe than that you use to sign up for Teachable, that's the only place where there might be an issue. But that's where I actually, in the text, there should be something that says, like email support@musicianofalltrades.com with the email that you use for Facebook, and then we can make sure we add you manually that way. So either way, we'll make sure you get in there. Jazz said it was great to have you on her stream. Oh, Lara's, but she's full-time, so you can't do it on that same level. Yeah, no, she's like dedicated. That's her full-time job now. She's like a full-time streamer, which is awesome. But yeah, that's the thing. You have to dedicate that kind of time to it. You know, if you want to make that like your big main area of focus, especially for earning an income. Mark says relationship video game butt kicking. Yeah, basically. It's like, let's settle this on the battlefield. Katie said, my husband loved the other Smash Bros, but doesn't think he'll like Ultimate. See, okay. My favorite was 64. That was the one that I grew up on. But I liked, I didn't like Brawl that much, but I liked...
Brawl was so much fun. I like Diddy Kong.
Yeah,
Diddy Kong was pretty sweet. It's just fun to throw his bananas at people. Or just like
that's such a troll move, isn't it? Oh,
just leave them lying around.
You are the troll though, because when he plays Snake too, it's like those little missiles, and I'm like, okay, because I'm the type that likes to play a character that just gets right up in your face with like a sword or something, and he's a lot sneakier. So I can't play those characters well at all, though. I'm terrible at like the more finesse stuff. Okay, Jazz says we need to watch Parks and Rec. I've heard that from so many people. We need to check that out. See you later, Maluka. Thanks for being here. So Katie said, is there a link for the Facebook group? Yes. So in the intro section, I believe it is. Do you mind double checking for me? I know I put the link in there. It's just I'm going to try and tell you directly how to find it. And then I think we're going to just head on out after this because it's been an hour and I don't want to like keep you guys here. I really appreciate you guys being here. And of course, anyone who's already signed up, thank you so much for being a part of this like special pre-sale and this special like launch event. Really, really appreciate it. And please, yeah, like let's get in that Facebook group. Like we'll go in there and start like approving any of you guys who have asked to be in there. And then, we can get that going and stuff. It's going to be a little bit slow, honestly, around the holidays here, just because obviously everyone's probably got some stuff. Okay. Is there? So which section is it though?
It's in the intro
section. And
it says how to join the private Facebook group.
Okay. Yeah. It's like an actual, so there's welcome. And then the next item down is how to join the private Facebook group. Okay. Nafia. Excellent. Cool. Well, thanks for joining the webinar here. Like if you have any other questions, you can always email or whatever if you're kind of on the fence about something, but glad you came to the webinar and everything. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just like I said, there's like the support and then the Facebook group and stuff, but I think we're going to head on out. We're going to hit the gym today because we've been deteriorating the last week.
Just shriveling up.
Yes. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna probably play some Smash Brothers tonight.
Probably maybe take a nap or something.
Maybe take a nap, yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here again. And I look forward to seeing you in the course. I look forward to seeing you in Facebook group and stuff. And then I will let you guys know the first 20 people and stuff. I'll get that all set up. I'm not sure when. But like I said, we won't be doing that until after the holidays. So it'll be sometime in January. So if I don't send an email out right away, don't worry. Like we'll definitely be doing that. So
yes, you won't be forgotten.
No, you will not. All right. Well, we will say goodbye together. This is a team effort.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later. Have a great holiday.
Yeah, if I don't talk to you guys, some of you guys, before Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
All right. Bye.